All right, hello, welcome. So today I'm going to take you on a digital field trip. I haven't done one of these, basically bringing you up to speed on the things I've been working on and showing you what direction I'm headed for in the channel so that you can kind of get an understanding on why I am headed in this direction and see, like some really cool examples. So if you haven't checked out any of the videos on photogrammetry and or any of my developers logs, check those out and it'll bring you up to speed about where the channel has gone. And then now I'll show you the output of that. So by scanning anything that I find on the forest floor, I can now turn it into anything into another composition. So for example, if I find a stick, right? Got a stick, awesome. Stick's really cool. But what's really neat is I need it to be a certain size, right? So I can scan a 2 foot stick in and then print it into 3 inches. And because it had so much detail, because it was big, now all that detail carries over because it's small. Okay, so large objects being scanned make incredibly cool objects when they are small. Another thing about the stick is now that it's digital, I can utilize all my 3D application uh, background that I have. So I've been a 3D modeler since I was about 28 years old. I've been raised in ZBrush, Maya, Blender, and 3D Studio Max. So if you see anything in this video, like I'm really open to the fact that like I can open those doors and maybe show you some of the workflows. For right now, this video is just to kind of show you, what's possible. You don't know what to ask for if you don't know what's possible. So now I can bend this stick in unnatural directions. I can make it into a separate little composition piece, but this can be all 3D printed. So here is a sample. Let's say, for example, I have a piece of kyanite. I know the size of it. I could take some calipers to it, and then I can build a little mock-up for it. So here's a mock-up of a piece of kyanite that I have. And that allows me to bend the sticks to match that kyanite. And then I need a way to hang it on the wall. I took some of these to an event. They sold quite fast. They were just wall hangs. So if you're into going to events or whatever, I had 6 of these. I think all 6 of them sold. They were quite big, but they sold before anything else. Wall hangs are huge right now. So just a little pro tip if you're an inventor going to events and selling this stuff. So now I can use a piece of tree bark, okay, and I can cut any hole, any shape whatsoever using digital drill bits, okay, into those, and then I can use the tree bark as a way to hang it onto the wall. And if I wanted to, I could print this out as one whole piece, or I could take the 3D printer resin and then glue it together using the 3D printer resin and a flashlight that's 395 nanometers. And it dries instantaneous, rock hard. So if this was too big, for example, I could cut it in half and then print it as 2 pieces and then composition it back just with the 3D printer resin, no super glue whatsoever. I'm going to be releasing a video here shortly of this. This is a kind of a flex of what's possible. So this thing right here is one of those really rotted logs that bugs live in, and you can see the amazing amount of detail. This texture is huge. Now the texture detail is pretty good, but the mesh detail isn't. See, you can see that it's comprised of the texture itself, but there's no real text. The texture doesn't transfer until I show you how to do that. So that's what the next video is going to be about. Coming up is how to transfer detail from photogrammetry over to a mesh using a cavity map. Boom, boom. There's the two difference. So now this one's 3D printable. What I'm really using this for is the texture itself, so I can use it in different compositions. I can cut it real fine, use it in all kinds of weird ways. So the objects that get scanned in, they just get mounted onto a piece of tile, they get rotated and taken pictures of, and they turn out like this. And here's ones that have not had to transfer yet. Still got a lot of detail, but once you transfer the detail, it's like night and day. Alright, if you haven't seen what I've been doing behind the scenes of all this, here's a preview of that. If you go to firstncmaterial.com, link below, you can go to the SLA 3D printable models, and you can see all the ones I've scanned in so far. Except for these two, these are sculpts that I did just with ZBrush and Blender. But the rows, all these skulls, got a bear skull now too, which is kind of cool. So a friend lent me this giant bear skull, and the only payment that she wanted was the fact that she wanted a print of it. So it's pretty sweet. So now I've been collecting forest stuff, skulls, and 3D sculpting more than anything else right now. I'm still plating a lot. So I've been taking and printing these out and plating them back into different compositions. I'll be sharing with those on Instagram a lot. The school's still working quite well, so Electroforming School Online. I got a new book out, if you haven't saw that, so if you need a book version of it. So I'll be doing the chemistry stuff a little bit more here when I get time. The whole reason I moved over to a digital workflow is because I'm a single dad with 3 kids, so I need to be upstairs with the kids, and this gives me the opportunity to be upstairs a lot more than in my lab. So I could work on some of this stuff up there, and then at night I can then print it out and maybe work on it a couple hours a night rather than what I was doing. So that's my whole push of doing a lot of this digital stuff. I really wanted to be with my kids a lot more, and you know, I was just too much in my lab at the time. But now I get to kind of be able to break that up quite a bit and utilize some of the skills I had before. So I still love chemistry. I still do electroforming. Just I've been really highly focused on you know, walking in the woods, collecting weird stuff with the kids, and then scanning it. I think it's a really great opportunity for them to see what that looks like too. Cool. So that is my digital field trip of what I've been up to. I hope you enjoyed, and you're going to check out a video that's going to come up shortly about how to transfer texture detail. And for those that have gone down this path of, like, I signed up for this channel to be like chemistry, why am I now watching 3D modeling? Hopefully that brings into perspective of what I'm trying to do and trying to grow the channel by bringing different individuals in. Like when I look for a hobby, I kind of look for a way to incorporate that hobby into many people. Like you can see some of the sculpty stuff I was working on, some of the other things. It's because you can grow a channel with a multicultural, multi-faceted set of skills, and then they're all enjoying electroforming because it all branches into different hobbies. So this is just a way to bring in more people. All right, have a good one, and hope you enjoyed the video.